it's a woman's body. If she gets pregnant and she needs to terminate the pregnancy for any reason, it's her right. And his argument was, okay, well, I can say the same thing if I shoved a gun up my ass and went to prison. That gun's now a part of my body and I can use it.
Someone said that?
Yeah, the guy on Facebook.
Like, was this like a video or was this like.
No, I got in an argument with someone on Facebook.
Oh my god, okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
We should go get food.
We should go get food.
We got food.
We got food. Top 10 scary ghost videos that'll make you.
That's so hard. I like how we were
Busted nut made of
applesauce.
donut cream.
Oh god. Mine tastes better. Wait.
No.
Alright, we're gonna say spooky ghost stories. Mine will be the other episode. This one's Summer's.
This one's mine.
This one's all about you. It's always all about you.
I told it all about me. I'm the main character.
Yeah, okay. Keep telling yourself that.
Okay. So
you're gonna start?
Okay, you threw me
I
off.
didn't even say anything.
You said you're gonna start?
Yeah, and then you acted like I was about to say something else.
Well, because I already said okay, so, and then you're like, are you gonna start?
I was gonna say something else, but then you stopped yourself.
What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, so when are you gonna start?
I hate you.
I have Prime.
Amazon Prime?
No, it's not bold.
Oh. Okay, so we're telling scary ghost stories today. And are we allowed to say that we smoked?
Sure, why not? You smoked, I ate edibles, you ate some of my edibles.
We're feeling good.
If I had to like measure out how much of my edibles you've taken over the years, I think it'd like equate to like a house.
Probably, yeah. I eat a lot of edibles. You used to too, though, back before your anxiety attacks started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fun times.
You'd eat like 4 whole edibles. Now he takes like, y'all remember when Squidward took like that the teeniest bite of a Krabby Patty before he absolutely dove in? That is the amount of edibles Zach takes, but he does not absolutely dive in.
Yeah, I had a stomach virus, and I ate cheese ravioli, 4 cheese ravioli, and I thought it was a smart idea to eat some edible chocolates. Those 3 do not go together, and I learned that the hard way. Still slowly recovering from that experience, it feels like. But,
that was over a year ago.
Yeah.
So yeah.
God loves me.
Now he's suffering from an ear infection.
All I hear is ee.
The official beginning. So my story starts in July, I believe, of 2018. I was going through some rough times, and my friend had just moved out of our apartment. So I was.
Wait, who was it?
It was Anna.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll censor the name, don't worry.
So I was staying alone a lot because my other roommate and friend at the time, Tyler, was hanging out with his, like, fuck buddy at the time, whose name, ironically, is Craig.
It's all connected.
It's all connected. So basically, it all started this one night. I had gotten home from drinking and swimming, and I was home alone because Tyler decided he was gonna go stay with Craig,
The fuck buddy.
the fuck buddy.
Uh huh. Got
So, um, so I'm home alone. Roommate is not officially moved. The Anna is not officially moved out, but she's basically living with her parents until she can get all her stuff. And Tyler's with Craig, so I'm home alone, and I'm sleeping in Tyler's room. This is very important to the story because he had the one air conditioning of our apartment in his room, and he had a TV in his room. So I wanted the air conditioner and TV for noise. So I fell asleep probably around like 2 in the morning. And so I'm going to tell this story as I remember it happening to me. But until I say so, I am sleeping. But it's gonna sound like I'm not because I'm telling it as if it's actually happening to me because that's how it felt it was happening. I felt like I was
like some
living it.
multiverse shit.
It was almost like a lucid dream.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So you're dreaming and
so
you're telling us as if it actually happened.
yeah,
Okay.
basically because that's how I remember it. I remember this actually happening. It doesn't ever still to this day feel like it was a dream, or they were dreams. So I go to sleep at like 2 in the morning. And then Tyler's door had like a deadbolt on it. So I shut that in case anyone broke into the apartment. I had that deadbolt shut. And I woke up to knocking on the door. And it was Tyler being like Tyler or Summer, wake up. It's me and Craig. Like we decided to come home and I like checked my phone and it was like 5 in the morning. And I get up, unlock the door, and I wake up and it's like 4 in the morning, I think. And I was like, that was weird, whatever. Go back to sleep. And uh it's good to note that I did not get up or anything. I looked over, the deadbolt was still deadbolted, everything was fine. Go back to bed. And this time I'm being awoken to Tyler above me. And he's like shaking me awake, like, Summer, like, get up, I'm home. Like, we need the bed, go to your room. Like, me and Craig are home. And I was like, okay. And then I wake up and it's like 5 in the morning this time. And um I look over and the door's still shut and I go back to bed and this time I my memory's faulting me a little bit right now. I can't remember if the next one was actually a dream or if it really no, so I believe I had one more dream, but it felt like it really happened of Tyler. Oh, Epiphany. So I go back to bed and I have another dream, and it's Tyler knocking on the door this time. But this time I actually got up and opened the door. And then I woke up and the door was open, even though it had been deadbolted all night. I didn't, in my actual being awake time, get up and undeadbolt the door. And I woke up and the door was undeadbolted and there was a cat in the bed and it was real life and I woke up at like 8 in the morning.
I like to think like two options happened here. You either like sleepwalked and did that, like sleep, like lucid dream, you getting up in real life, like whatever you're doing in your dream, you're doing in real life kind of stuff.
I may have.
Or like just ghosty just went, hey, cat wants in.
It could have been. It could have been that.
Could have been either or, honestly, at this point, given what's happening.
So, after that, I don't know how long it was between the time. I know it was like less than a month. Um, but there comes another day when I like am laying down to take a nap. It's like 11 in the morning, something. And I lay down, and again, I'm going to be telling this story as if it actually happened, but again, it's another dream. It's like a lucid dream. I accidentally lucid dreamed, or ghost plucked me and put me into a lucid dream. I don't know.
You like that sometimes.
But I laid down to take a nap, and I woke up, and it was pitch black in my room. Mind you, I'm laying down to take a nap at like 11 in the morning. And it's pitch black. And I check my phone, and it says it's like 12:15 p.m., so it's still noon. And I have some text from Tyler, and I'm like trying to text him back, but like my fingers feel so heavy. And I like get up to walk, and it like feels like there's like an invisible like weighted blanket over my body that I'm walking with. And I walk into the living room, and I know you remember my living room, but you guys never saw it. It was an old fucking grocery store converted into an apartment.
Ever since you told me that, I've been trying to always picture what it would look like as a grocery store.
I can see it was probably like, given the brick building, it was probably like an old like market,
Yeah, that's what I
like an
was
old timey
thinking.
market from like
The olden
yeah, the
days.
olden days, like the 30s and 40s. Um, but yeah, so where the fuck was I going? Oh, I was talking about the apartment. Bear with me. So I like walked around. I walked out to the living room, and the way my living room was like, it was like to the right, wall, window, 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 door, which was, the first one was glass, and then the second one was like a white door, window, window to the front. So lots of window. And it was pitch fucking black. It was pitch fucking black everywhere
At noon.
outside at noon. And I was like freaking out, and I felt so heavy, and I was trying to text Tyler back, and I couldn't. And I was like starting to panic because I didn't know what was going on. And then I woke up, and I looked at my phone, and it was 12:15, and I had text from Tyler. And it was almost like I was like put into an an anti-universe or something.
Anti-universe.
I don't know how else to describe
I've
it.
never heard that be used in a sentence.
I don't know how else to describe it. Like it was like the upside down. I was like I was put into the upside down. I have that dream, whatever. I'm at this point, I'm not thinking anything like super paranormal about it, but I am like I'm creeped out. Like I know there's something weird, and I have always felt something off about the apartment I was living in. Um, and you experienced some paranormal stuff there that summer when I asked you to stay over.
Yeah, you told me to spend the night, and I didn't sleep at all. I was sleeping in your bed, and you were sleeping at Tyler's bed. And hold up, here we go.
Let it all
So,
out.
dying slowly. Um, I'm in Tyler's bed. Keep hearing movement in the closet, and I'm like, "Hello? Anyone there? No one? Cool." Sometimes the bed would move, and I'm like, "I'm not the
Mhm.
one moving it." And then I would hear the door like go like move a little, and I'm like, "What the heck?" I felt like something touched my feet at one point, and I just decided I'm just gonna just watch YouTube all night, and I heard like cats everywhere, like outside the door. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. And then 8 a.m. hit, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home. Good peace, summer. Go. I actually had to go, but I was just like, I'm just gonna leave an hour earlier. I didn't sleep at all.
Yeah, I understand. And it's crazy that that happened to you because, like, the only thing that ever happened to me at that apartment was, like, the lucid dreams and the weird noises I would hear that I would always chalk up to my two upstairs neighbors.
Yeah, I tried to sleep, but like every time I tried to, literally like feel like something would like shoot me back awake, and I'm like, all right, well, what's on drama alert?
I did always feel like something was, like, watching me.
Pervert.
Moon?
No, Craig.
Mm.
Not the human Craig. We named the box Craig. Oh, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So, um, yeah, Zach has his experience at that apartment. And then I have one more dream there. And granted, I did Molly a couple times that week, so who knows? But all of the other stuff was pre Molly, by the way, pre trying it. But, um, ooh, I just remembered the guy on the street too.
I was wondering when you were going to say that. Summer had a crazy dude go after her.
So, at the beginning of the story, I said that it all started in July of 2018. I lied. It started on my 22nd birthday in June of 2018. I was also on Molly that night. But it wasn't that strong, and I didn't do a lot because it was my first time ever doing it. I had like a teeny tiny bit, and I never really felt it. But me and my roommate and friend Tyler were sitting out on our like little front sidewalk that we had, and it was like 2 in the morning. We had just walked home from the bars, had a shitty night, and we were talking. And we lived on one of the main roads, but it it was like dead, like a dead time, so not a lot of traffic or anything. We were sitting there talking, and then all of a sudden, we hear like from across the road, and we're like right by the road. We had a super teeny tiny front yard. I'm doing quotes right now. Um, so it's like our teeny tiny front yard, and then the road. You remember how close our front door was to the road, and from the other side of the road, we hear like, and we look over, and there's this dude just walking by. He has long hair. He's wearing shorts, and he's walking by doing this.
Clapping his hands?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me that one originally.
I thought I did. No, he's like doing this. And then we're like looking at him, and he's like approaching to where he would be like directly across from us. And like he's still doing the clapping, and then he just like stops when he's like about right across from us. And we're like, what the fuck? We're like watching him, and he just turns to us and starts booking it toward us. Me and Tyler like literally this fucking scream. We screamed. We were terrified. We booked it in our house, like locked all of
Was he
our doors.
Naruto running at you, or was he like Terminator running at you?
He was like Michael Myers running at us.
How does Michael Myers run?
Well, like I don't know, like when he like fast walks, but he's like such a big guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like murder trudging toward us. It was fucking crazy. And like the craziest part is that like neither of us could see a face. And both of us misremembered how he looked, but we both knew that that happened. Like we both acknowledged him clapping, we saw him, and yeah. So that I forgot to say that. I don't know if that has anything to do with the rest of the story, but it's a creepy thing to note that happened, whether it be paranormal or some fucking creepy guy. That was fucking creepy.
Maybe it was his first time doing Molly too, and he just wanted to be your friend. But you like watched too much anime before he saw you.
Yeah, it could be true. That could be very true. Okay. So, back to where I was in the original story. I had that last dream, and oh, I don't think I told the dream. The dream, the fucking dream. I had a dream. I had a dream. The fucking dream. The last dream that I had. I like it was like another lucid dream type thing, and it was it I It was a night that I came home from doing Molly. I think it might have been the night that you like came and picked me up from Macedonia and dropped me off back home.
I drove you everywhere.
He did. He still does. And I walk in and I walk in and it I don't know if this influenced the dream at all, but I remember walking in and getting like creepy vibes because it was like 2 in the morning, everyone was asleep, but my apartment just looked so empty. And then I went to my room and fell asleep, and I had a dream again where this one didn't necessarily feel as real, but it was still really creepy feeling. And it was a dream where I was like getting home from work and I walked into my apartment and it was like pitch black. And you know how it was like the front living room and then that long ass hallway and then the back living room.
Yeah.
Um, it was like that hallway was like super elongated. You okay?
Yeah. Allergies.
The water didn't work. The hallway was super elongated and there were like shadows in the back. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember like all of my friends like just started like appearing out of the back, but they were like dead. I remember Ava specifically like coming out and she looked so creepy and weird and I just got such like a bad feeling.
Summer, it's me.
And I woke up and I was like, okay, what the fuck? And then Tyler started being home more and we got a new roommate. I got a new roommate named Larissa. And after that summer, I was like never alone at that apartment again. So now we fast forward to 2019, summer of 2019, and we talk about how Courtney, my one friend Courtney, brought a Ouija board to my apartment.
So fun.
One night. I was at work and I came home and her and Tyler were drunk on the living room floor playing with the Ouija board. And Courtney swears up and down that she closed it. She says she never does a session without closing it, but she was super drunk. And so was Tyler, and I was not. I just came home from work. And I do not remember her closing it out. I just remember me walking in and then it was like the Ouija board didn't exist anymore. And
this before or after all the dreams?
This was after. So we fast forward to 2019.
Okay, got it.
Summer 2019. And you sleepy?
I'm listening.
You eepy?
Just yawned.
You eepy? So yeah, so I personally do not remember them. Remember her fucking closing the Ouija board out. And I didn't think anything of it at the time. Like I didn't like see that and be like, "Oh, she didn't close that out." Like make a mental note of that. But fast forward to August. So a couple months later, we move out of that apartment. Tyler goes his own way, and I didn't have a place to go after that. So I moved in with Larissa. And Larissa lives in this big ass like farmhouse type place.
It's honestly a pretty cool place.
It is a really cool place. Her dad built it like basically from scratch.
Her dad.
So basically when they got that house, the only parts of the house that existed was the living room and the kitchen and that dining area where the patio is.
Started off as like a little cottage.
And little cottage
and a fucking pimp's mansion.
Yeah.
Country people.
Basically, yeah.
Lit.
Yeah. So he did that. So I moved in with them in their big ass house, and it was just Larissa's parents, Larissa, and me. There were 3 cats. Larissa's mom's cat, Caesar, Larissa's cat Naomi, and my cat Ray. There was one dog, her name was Macy. So basically the layout of this apartment, this is important to know for like, oh, it could have just been this person. No, it wasn't. Reasons.
Shut up, reasons.
For shut up reasons. Her parents had a bathroom in their bedroom.
Oh,
they had
to get wild.
a master bathroom in their master bedroom. So we had a bathroom on our floor. We were on the second floor, both of our rooms, and we had our own bathroom. So no one ever used our bathroom. That's important to note. And no one was really ever up there for any reason, unless it was me or Larissa. That's also important to note. So something started happening again right off the fucking bat of moving in with Larissa. It's important to know that I was not in a good place mentally at this time. I was doing lots of, DRUGZ, and that's not how you spell it.
Oh, I had to spell
it. And I was, yeah, just not in a good place mentally. Very depressed, very lonely, very not right in the head. At that time, I was young. I was 23. Um, so that's also important to note. And literally, like my first night there alone. So I can't remember the timeline on this one specifically. I think it was after I came home from vacation because technically I moved in and I spent one night there and went on vacation to South Carolina.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I'm pretty sure the first actual night that I was there, the night that I moved in, I'm pretty sure Courtney was there. And
yeah, you've said that before.
Yeah. So I don't think I spent that night alone. But then when I got back, my first night alone after getting back, Larissa went to a party with her friends, and I was invited, but I didn't want to go. I just got back from South Carolina. I was burnt as fuck, and I just wanted to sleep.
You were red as a cherry.
I was, bro. I got pictures. No wonder I had 2 skin cancer moles.
Like you sent me a picture to show how burnt you were, and it was hilarious because you showed me your bikini line.
Yes.
And it was just yep, that's your pasty white skin right there, and that's a fucking cherry if I've ever seen one.
Just okay, imagine an albino next to Mr. Krabs.
Yeah, that's
what
pretty accurate, actually.
My ass to leg looked like. But anyway, so
tell us more about ass to leg.
So I got back and Larissa was at that party, so I wasn't there alone. Like Larissa's parents were there downstairs, but I was upstairs by myself and I was fine. Larissa had told me that they had that there was a ghost. His name was Toby. That's what Larissa named it when she was a child. But Toby, she swore up and down that Toby was a friendly ghost, and I believe that, and Toby was. Toby is a friendly ghost. So
Toby friendly.
Toby friendly. So that night, I think I fall asleep to Avatar: The Last Airbender or something like that. Something, the huge. And
the good one.
Yeah.
The live action.
No. So I fall asleep to that, no biggie, and I'm awoken in the middle of the night to no big deal. There's fucking 3 cats in this house. So I get up, or I don't get up. I sit up and I see immediately to my left on the bed is Naomi. There's a mattress propped sideways up against the window. Up there is Caesar. On the dresser is Miss Ray. All 3 cats were in the bedroom. and Macy is kept in a cage at night because she has accidents. So Macy is in her cage, and I'm just hearing.
So where's that coming from?
It was at my door. It was right at my door. I could hear it like clearly on my door. Um, and I was like, you know what? I'm too tired for this. It's just Toby. Larissa warned me. This is just Toby. So I went back to bed, and that happened on and off for a couple of months. This was like August. This continued on and on, like not every single night, but every other night. I'd feel a little scared going to bed sometimes, or I'd hear the scratching, or just little things like that. And it stayed like that until around October. And fast forward to October. Me and Larissa are like becoming obsessed with one of those like a haunting shows. And she's in my room like every night. We're watching it together. It's, October, spook times. And we're watching an episode like we have been doing every night that week. And we we're watching it, and we notice Ray, my cat, like starting to like act weird, and she's like looking up at something in the corner like obsessively, and like she starts like pawing at the wall and meowing up at the corner of my ceiling. And we were like, Ray, like stop that, what the fuck? And we like get her to stop doing it, but then we just see something fall from the top of the ceiling and hit the floor. It went behind my bed. And we are like, what the fuck was that? So we got up and like moved my bed out, and sitting down was a heads up penny.
Oof, the pennies.
And we were like, that literally just like we watched it fall. We weren't sure what it was because it's almost like it appeared out of thin air and just fell. But we didn't see that it was a penny falling. But like there wasn't like any kind of shells or anything near the area of where it fell. It literally just appeared and fell.
Yeah, that happened to me too, where it just came out of nowhere, landed down, except mine was tails. And I know another person who had it happen to their mom, except she was driving in the car. It happened to her, so that was interesting. She had to
Maybe it
pull
was
over and try to figure it out.
because heads up is good luck, isn't it?
I don't know, maybe Toby dropped it.
Yeah, I don't know. But so we were freaked out by that. And um for the next couple of days we like started finding pennies in our bathroom, and
Charity.
it would just be like right in front of our toilet, and we'd be like I'd be like, Larissa, did you leave change in the bathroom? And she'd be like, no, did you? And I'd be like, no. And we'd take it and put it up somewhere, and then the next person would go in the bathroom, change is right there. It's always pennies too. And like at a certain point, it got to a certain point where both me and Larissa were like, are you pranking me, are you pranking me? And we're like, no, like neither of us are pranking each other, like what is going on? And i
Who's
was
pranking who?
i was talking to you about this, I remember. And then one night we went to a party with Zach at Skyway, and I remember we were telling everyone a story about the pennies and how they kept appearing, and we were like, how weird would it be if we got home and there were pennies? Like I remember we literally right before we left, there were pennies, and we were like, oh my god, cleared them out. Like Larissa grabbed them and we walked downstairs together, got in the car, and went to the party. Well, we came back, and sure enough, the pennies are right there, and they're like always in threes too.
I want to know, like, is it manifesting them? Is it finding them? Is it like a hoarder? Does it have its own stash? Like,
Right?
what's this like? Is it like? I'm not gonna lie. If it was taking out of my, can you imagine if it was just like taking like pennies out of Larissa's mom's wallet or some shit? She's like, I swear to God, I had like pennies here.
Old people always have a bunch of pennies laying around for some reason, though. Anyway, um, so yeah, and I believe it was either the next day or within the next couple of days after this party and finding those pennies. We are both home one night. I'm sitting in my room doing something, watching TV, I don't know, sitting on my bed. And Larissa comes running in, freaking the fuck out. She's like, Summer, I was trying to take like some nudie pictures and I caught this in the back of the picture.
Show image without the nudie parts.
And
hence that image. My
yeah.
God.
So as you can see, it's literally a fucking face. Like, hold on. I feel like I need to pull up the actual picture in real time for me to be able to describe it. Me. Hi. I'm pissing outside. Literally in the mirror, you can see 2 eyes, the bridge of his nose, a fucking mouth. You can see his ear with his hairline right here. So yeah, she caught that in her fucking picture. And she's freaking out. We go running back into her room. And as you can see in this first picture right here with the face caught in it, the mirror is like turned upwards. It's a makeup mirror that in like the actual mirror part of it can like spin around like a globe. And we run back in and this is her fucking mirror. Pin straight. Pin fucking straight.
That's weird.
Right?
That's like some like what the fuck that movie called? Leonardo DiCaprio, where he's like in the dream inside a dream. That's some Inception shit.
So obviously we're freaking out. And my first instinct is to call Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach.
Because he's super into the paranormal stuff.
I'd be doing the mystic shit, bruh.
And he's told me before that he's performed Jewish exorcisms.
I call it, oh, yeah, well, it's called dream exorcisms. That's what I call it.
So he performs.
I learned it from a Jewish person.
But I wasn't even asleep when you did, Craig.
That's just a normal exorcism.
Mm.
Doing the whole Dybbuk box thing.
Mm.
I mean, the word Dybbuk is Jewish.
Well, whatever. I called him and I told him everything that happened, and he was like, FaceTime me. So we go back into Larissa's room and I'm like talking to him, explaining the story. And his FaceTime does something I've never seen a FaceTime do before.
You have the picture?
Yeah.
Oh, you should send that to me.
And it starts cutting out like this. And like the lines, I've literally, every time a FaceTime has like not loaded, it never does that. It normally like has your screen goes gray and there's like a little triangle with that exclamation point and say it says like connection is bad or whatever. And it wasn't just that time either. I also got this one.
Beautiful.
And this was that the first one was at 12:15 a.m. The second one was 8:15 another day. So, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Basically Zach just says he can take care of it and tells us what we need to do to, protect ourselves until he can, come over and gauge the situation and we'll,
Mystic shit, bro.
yeah, well, all that, what have you. So he tells us to put like a cross around the outside of the bedroom door, of both of our bedroom doors. But Larissa decides that she's moving a little bed into my bedroom and we're sleeping in the same bedroom, which I was like, yes, bitch, because I'm scared. And we didn't have a cross. Larissa didn't have a cross necklace, but she had like a like a Virgin Mary or Mother Mary, whatever necklace. So we put that on the door.
Was it on the inside or outside?
It was on the outside.
Okay.
And the first night, that same night that we FaceTime Zach and he told us what to do, that the night that we got the picture and everything, that first fucking night, we're sitting in the bedroom and we just hear, but we have the cats in here with us, and we just hear the necklace like slap. Good one. We hear the necklace just slap against the door, and we're like, what the fuck? And then we just keep hearing it for this is like a couple seconds probably. It was like someone was picking up the necklace and letting it slap back on the door, picking up the necklace, slap back on the door. And it was like a chain necklace. And we were terrified out of our minds. And little stuff like that just kind of kept happening for the next couple of weeks until Zach could get over. Um, it was like little things like the necklace slapping on the door, or the pennies were still happening. We'd hear noises. My friend Shannon was coming over a lot at that time, and she always said she saw a shadow in my room. And then comes the time that Zach is able to finally come and gauge the house and see the house for the first time. And it's a day that we were hanging out, and you took me home and you were like, I'm gonna come in for a second. You get a feel for everything. So we go up into Larissa's bedroom, and like right off the fucking bat, we hear like a loud ass bang in the top of Larissa's closet. There's nothing in there. And Zach's like, all right, I'm gonna need a second to be alone in here and gauge, what's going on, what the spirits are up to.
I want something to happen.
And so
you're interpreting it as if I'm like I'm from The Exorcist, like I'm in a suit and everything, like I must assist. In reality, I'm there in my pajamas, just like, all right,
I'm gonna cause some issues.
I want some freaky shit right now.
And he got it.
So I get it.
I walked out, and as soon as I closed the door behind me, my cat Ray ran to the door. Mind you, Ray like does not like strangers. She runs to the door and she's like scratching at it frantically, trying to get in there, meowing, scratching, freaking out. And a few seconds later, I just hear like, Summer, Summer. And I walk in and turn the light on, and Zach's like laying like almost disabled position on the floor.
I felt like it was like pushing me downward. Like it was like it had me my like back of my neck was just like, you go your face touch floor.
And yeah, so that's how I found him. And he explained to me that as soon as I left and he shut the light off, he basically got pushed down on the ground.
That was a dark.
And there was a bunch of spirits around him, or like one spirit being loud. I don't know what it was.
Like imagine like you're in a tornado, but it's like quiet, and you're just like with the same thing you're seeing, like spinning around, like woo woo.
So that's what he saw.
That's the way I could explain it.
So that was fun.
It's got yellow eyes.
And then the yellow-eyed demon.
Because I remember I don't remember if this was the same day, but I remember in your closet, Arissa's closet, we were looking.
I think that was the same day you saw a pair of yellow eyes.
Yeah, it was like yellow eyes, just like moving around like a fucking like a squirrel on crack, just like. I
do remember that. I do remember that. I didn't see him, but I remember Zach saying he saw him. That was the same day. So.
No, as I'm leaving too, I felt like he tried to like leave with me. It was like freedom or something, but it like wasn't attached to me. It was like attached to like you guys or whatever. So like it just ended up like not leaving with me. Oh, you say the part with the Snapchat. I forgot.
Oh, I will, but I need to get to that part.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, Zach gets up, and I remember he was like, stay in here with me for a second. I'm gonna turn the lights off again. But with me in there, like nothing happened. Like the energy felt really tense, but Nothing happened. We get up, turn the lights on, go out, and remind you right now, my door is closed. We have been keeping my bedroom door closed with that necklace on it every single time we leave. We do not keep my door open. Zach is like, let's take the necklace off real fast. I'm gonna take it downstairs. I don't remember why he wanted to do that, but he did it. And we went downstairs. What?
I just see it fly.
Oh, we went downstairs and I was like, I'm gonna make some food while I wait for my friend Shannon to get over. And Zach gave me back the necklace. I was making food, and Shannon was about to be there, so I told Zach he could just get out of here. We set a plan for the date that he was gonna come try and help me get rid of the spirit. And um yeah, so he left. I see it. He left and Shannon came over. I finished making up my food and we went back up to my room. Well, the first fucking thing I notice is that my door is open. We took the necklace off and then my door was open. But I was like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, at least I have Shannon here with me. It's whatever. So, um, Shannon goes and sits on my bed, and I go and sit by my smoking window, which faces the road. This is important. And I'm sitting down, about to pack a bowl or about to get our smoke on, and I look down and I notice this pink shot glass just sitting on my floor in the middle of my floor. And I'm like, that's Larissa's shot glass from Larissa's room. And Larissa was gone, obviously. And I FaceTimed her. She was at another party. And I FaceTimed her and I was like, hey, I know your answer is no, but did you put this shot glass in my bedroom? And she was like, what? No, it's should be where all of my shot glasses are, in my bedroom. And I was like, yep, that's what I thought. Zach had me take the necklace off for the first time all week, and we went downstairs. And then when I came back up, my door was open, and I find this in here. And she was like, oh, that's lovely. That's truly lovely.
I took it off just to see if something would happen.
I think that's probably, and yeah, it did immediately. I put it back on before we went back in there, and I shut the door. And then I pack the bowl, we smoke. I open my phone, and I see I have a Snapchat from Zach. So I open it, and I still have this as well. And it's a picture of the house, and this is my bedroom, the lit one. And you can kind of see the shape of something right there in the window. Like, do you see that like thing right there?
Yeah, it's a unit.
There's like a little something right there. And I'll tell you right now, that's not anything that's in my bedroom, because the way this was set up was right in front of my window was my dresser that had my TV on it. And the TV was like pushed back up against the wall and like completely out of view. Especially from this angle. From this angle, you should have just been able to clearly see my closet and the wall. And you can kind of see that. And then you just see this random thing. And it even looks like it's behind the blinds.
It looks like it's got like a fat head.
It looks like it's behind the blinds. Like the blinds are right here and it's behind the blinds. Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, so he Snapchats me that and says, shadow left from this window, then appeared upstairs for a good minute.
It looks like a deformed like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, to be honest.
And
like if he like never lost the weight and he like got his neck thick. Like that's what it looks like.
That's a very big description from this not even half of a shadow we can see in the window.
Listen, that's what I'm seeing.
Hence
that image. See, it's Shaggy.
So I show this to Shannon because she's been updated on everything that's been going on, and she's like, dude, no fucking way. Like, I didn't want to say anything to freak you out because I know you were already scared, but as soon as you opened the door, you like were turned away toward Larissa's room. When you opened the door, there was just a clear shadow right in front of your window, and it was like probably the same time you were pulling out and sent me that Snapchat, because then we sat down. I freaked out about the shot glass. Then we smoked. Then we looked at your Snapchat. We went upstairs, like, probably, like, right as you backed out. And I know you said you sat in the driveway for a second. But, so that happened. That was super creeps. And then, fast forward to the day where we trap Craig.
His name's Craig.
His name is Craig.
I don't know if that's his real name, but that's his name now.
That's what we named him.
It's like a pet.
So, basically, we get this whole group together. My friend, I ended up making up with Anna, way before all of this happened. She comes to this. Larissa's there, obviously.
My peoples.
Zach, Billy, Kendall, Allison. So all 6 of us, go up into Larissa's room, and we get in this circle, and we brought Allison because she had just started, like, communicating with spirits through tarot, and so she was kind of trying to do a tarot reading to try and talk to the ghosts.
Because a Ouija board.
Yeah, we were trying to halt all kinds of communication that could, you know, open ourselves to
trigger
it, basically.
More shit.
Yes. Which in the end that didn't work, and we had to use a pendulum. And it was like, as soon as we started using the pendulum, it got like ice cold in Larissa's room. This was November at this point. We were all in long pants and sweaters and warm socks. Like, it was cold. We live in Ohio. Literally. It was cold. It was already cold. So we were dressed warm, and it was warm in Larissa's house, in her room. It got ice cold in there. We could, like, see our fucking breath. And we start communicating through the pendulum to the spirit, and we ask it some, like, basic questions, like, was it ever human? To which it answered no. We asked if there were 2 spirits, because we didn't think that we asked if this was Toby, the original ghost, and it said no. We asked if there ever was a Toby, and it said yes. And we asked if that ghost harmed Toby, and it said yes. And it did. I do remember we asked if it killed Toby, and it said no. So I don't know if Toby ever ended up coming back or if she passed on. We ended up learning through Larissa's dad that Toby was the original owner of the original property, who died before Larissa's dad brought it.
Pretty cool knowledge.
And that she was, like, a really nice, sweet old lady.
I bet you should make cookies.
Basically, we're asking it the questions, and I want to know why. Like, where did it come from? So, first of all, we asked it. I like traced it back to that Ouija board that Courtney had brought over months earlier when we still lived at that apartment. And we asked if it was because she left that session open. It responded yes. And then we asked if it attached itself to something to get back to Larissa's, and it said yes. We asked if it was the mirror, and it said yes. And then we asked if it was originally attached to me, hence what was happening in summer of 2018. And it said yes.
The spirit just had a home for like a solid year and a half, basically.
It did. And then we asked if, so I didn't mention this, but Larissa was going through some hard times living back with her mom.
Big depresso,
you know, dropped out of college, living with parents. Big depresso.
She felt like a failure.
Didn't have a job, yeah. Basically, yeah. And so we asked if the spirit, like, came through the mirror but attached itself to Larissa, because she was the most depressed energy instead of me.
Because like they like to crave like the negative energy.
Yeah,
like,
they crave
and like whatnot, and
they crave negative energy, and she had the most of it, I guess. It was
fair.
originally attached. Basically, it was originally attached to me, and then Courtney opening up the spirit world made it stronger and able to attach to something other than the house, basically. And it attached to the mirror.
Can you imagine if this turned into Monster House?
No. And then where the mirror went, the ghost went, and then it attached itself to whatever spirit had the most negative energy, which was Larissa. And we got a video of this all, and then my phone just deleted it, but I still have screenshots of the video, weirdly, and you can tell that they're screenshots.
And we'll show the screenshots.
Yeah, we'll show the screenshots.
Enhance that image.
And yeah, so I can't remember all of what we asked, but I just remember everything was happening extremely fast. It felt like there was a tornado around us. The air was cold. Like everything felt crazy. It felt so intense. Like it was like every question we were asking Craig, it's like we were giving him more power or something. Like it's like he was getting stronger. And Zach eventually knew enough and
yeah, it's time to get in the box.
Told us to get the fuck out. And we all went in my room besides him. We heard him wrestling around for a few minutes.
It's like the meme of SpongeBob and Patrick, like, all right, get in.
Yeah.
I think Squidward's dead.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
And then a few minutes later, he came out and it was done. He said, "This is Craig. He's in a box and he's never going to get out."
And Billy gave him a Bible to read.
I cannot remember what I gave him.
So in order to do this, Dybbuk, box, evil containment, whatever the hell you want to call this shit, everything has their own word for it. Basically, there we go. So basically, I just took a lock of each of their hair, like something. I had to put something in there.
Oh yeah, that's why we cut our hair that day, and I was like, I'm gonna get bangs.
Billy was just like, I'm going to give Craig a Bible. I'm like, why? This is the demon, sir. And he goes, yeah, but like, if he gets bored and wants reading material. I'm like, okay, Billy. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, then I was like, all right, get in the box. Some mystic shit went on. Like things were like moving a little. Felt like again it was like swirling around.
I remember hearing like knocking around, like the knocks that we would like hear in Larissa's closet.
Felt like I grabbed it and just sort of literally like put it in kind of. It was like catching a Pokemon. It was weird.
And I will say, to this day, I have not experienced anything too crazy paranormal. The weirdest things that I have experienced since, which did not become an issue like Craig did, but they were still creepy. The one happened at my second apartment that I had. I was living by myself, and basically I went to Florida for the weekend because my friend was getting married. She lives in Florida, and I had just gotten home, and that weekend my roommates moved themselves into their new apartment. And I was like feeling like high emotion. I was like really attached to my friend Tyler that I was living with, and I was like sad that he was gone. And I'd never lived on my own before, like by myself. And I was like sad and scared. And I was like sitting on my couch in my living room crying. And I like eventually calmed down and was like sitting on my phone. My cat was sitting up on my couch right behind me, just like laying on the top of the couch. And I hear from Tyler's closed bedroom that he's out of. Him and Dom left, him and his boyfriend. They left, and behind his closed bedroom, I hear what sounded like me crying. And my blood stopped. I ran. My keys were laying on on my coffee table, I grabbed my keys and I ran out of my apartment barefoot and ran to my car.
Right out of there.
I noped right out of there, and I called my
not
friend.
Ready for round two. No, thank you.
I called my friend Jasmine, I think, and we talked about it. I told her, and she was like, "That's creepy." And eventually, I went back in, went to bed. It was fine. It was whatever. I went into Tyler's room and looked around, and it was whatever. Oh, I forgot to mention too. When I heard the crying behind the door, my cat jumped right off the couch and immediately ran to the door and started like smelling. So she heard it too. Of that, and then like a month or so later, I had a dream, and it felt like a dream, where I woke up and I went to the bathroom, and I had one of those like mirrors in that bathroom that was like the three cabinet that you can open from all ways. And the right and the left one were like out, and things were like spilled into my sink, and I like put the one mirror back the way it was, and right behind me was an old woman that looked like my grandma with like black eyes.
Oh, I remember you telling me.
And I woke up. It was daylight. I was like, "What the fuck?" I had to pee. Went to go pee, and my fucking cabinet was open, and things were spilled out. And I eventually found out that that was my spirit, which I believe to be my grandma. She needed to contact me about something. And I remember. I remember you came over and like we talked to her, but I don't ever remember what it was that she needed to talk to me about. I think it was something with my mental health.
I don't remember either.
But that was fine. That was dandy.
Wasn't as bad as Craig.
Huh?
Wasn't as bad as Craig.
Wasn't as bad as Craig. No, what was worse than Craig? The only thing that the one event, the next one that I was about to tell.
Craig, you're
that
not
is
special anymore.
Worse than Craig, and it was a one-time thing, but it chilled me to my core.
Oh.
I used to work at B-Dubs, and I got off a Sunday shift. I remember it was like the earliest I ever fucking got off. I always had to stay late because I was like the best one there.
You're always so good at your job.
I know, and then I hit autistic burnout and quit by no call, no showing. But I just gotten off, and I got home around like 9:30, and I was living back with my mom at the time. She lives in the fucking country, like right across the street from us is a fucking farm. Like we live in a 7-acre land, and it's basically nothing but woods in that area.
It's a cow farm. You're gonna have cows
outside. So I'm just sitting up in my room, decompressing after my shift, still in my uniform. Didn't smoke, didn't drink, didn't nothing. I was just sitting scrolling on TikTok. House is completely silent other than my TikToks. And all of a sudden, I just fucking hear from outside, and it booms through my fucking house.
I think the raccoons are like getting a mating call. They're gonna come down here.
And she carried on like that for probably like a minute. I don't know why I didn't think to like grab my phone and record. It like chilled me to my core. It was like one of those things. It was like worse than when I heard that scream, or not scream, when I heard that crying behind the door. Because when I heard the crying behind the door, I noped right out of there. When I heard this girl, it was like the blood froze in my body, and I couldn't move. And I just listened, and it like stopped, and I ran downstairs, locked all the doors, like made sure they were all locked. And I called my mom. She was at fucking bingo like 10 minutes away, and I was like, "When are you going home?" And I told her what I just heard, and
so many fucking mosquitoes. What the shit?
And they made fun of me and they laughed at me, but that was definitely a woman in white for sure. And I heard that it's like when you hear a weeping woman, it's like the closer the weeps are, the more far away she is, the more far away they are, the closer. And it was like I heard them so close, like they boomed through that house, and then silence, like nothing.
So it was like outside your door, basically.
It was literally, it sounded like she was right outside my window.
I just like to imagine like spirits just out there like, ah, ah. It's just like, get out. I have some fruit roll-ups, please. I have some gushers.
And
You got food stamps? It's a troubling economy.
that was like one of the last paranormal things I experienced. I mean, technically, I guess last year there was a time where I was laying in bed with EJ and they were sleeping. And I like sat up to hit my vape, and at the time I jeweled. And anyone who jewels knows they have one of those bright ass fucking lights on them that light up when you hit it. And I took a hit, and it lit up my like I was like facing my door, and it like lit up my door, and there was like a clear shadow of a human figure, like head and shoulders, like right there. And I like immediately like turned around expecting to see EJ like sitting up and being like, "What are you doing?" But they were fucking passed the fuck out.
In your new apartment?
Yeah, the apartment that we still live in. That was like the only like weird thing that I experienced there though. And yeah.
Any last words we want to say to our audience then?
Thanks for listening. I hope my story gives spooks and chills down spines.
I had some chills occasionally while you were talking.
Yeah, I can't wait to have some chills while you're talking tomorrow.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.